हम ये देखेंगे कि उन्होंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ डायग्राम्स पे फोकस नहीं किया। इनके जो हर एक जो आर्ग्यूमेंट है, आर्ग्यूमेंट के साथ सब्सटेंस। ओके, सो दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड आंसर। हाउ दिस इज स्टैंडर्ड दैट द मैम हैव फॉलोड the introduction, body and conclusion, the IBC method, which has been discussed in many coaching institutes. But you need to see that how you have to apply that New India @75. So here they what ma'am has done is that they have your contextualize the conclusion. That in a way will improve your presentation, and that will fetch you one extra mark that we are trying to hope.
सबसे पहले बता दें, अगर आप सरदार पटेल स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं तो इसमें 3 प्रोग्राम चलाए जा रहे हैं। पहला प्रोग्राम उन्नयन है, जिसमें प्री से लेकर मेंस तक आपकी तैयारी कराई जाएगी, उन्नयन प्रोग्राम। दूसरा प्रोग्राम है राइस, जिसमें मेंस की प्रिपरेशन कराई जाती है। और तीसरा प्रोग्राम है RIPP, इसमें आपके इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन कराई जाएगी। और ये सभी प्रोग्राम पूरी तरह से फ्री हैं, आप इनको ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। ज्वाइन करने के लिए इस व्हाट्सएप नंबर पे आपको ये डिटेल भेजनी होगी।
हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग। आज सरदार पटेल स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम आपके लिए लेके आया है कि आप आपके जो आंसर्स है उनमें आप वैल्यू एडिशन कैसे कर सकते हैं, उसका प्रेजेंटेशन, उसका स्ट्रक्चरिंग। हम टॉपर्स की कॉपीज के थ्रू इसको जानेंगे कि टॉपर्स कैसी स्ट्रेटेजीज अप्लाई करते हैं अपने आंसर्स। एंड एस्पिरेंट्स, दिक्कत होती है कि आप इस स्टेज पे, यूपीएससी इस स्टेज पे पहुंच चुके हो मेंस में, कि सभी एस्पिरेंट्स के पास कंटेंट की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। प्रॉब्लम्स हमें सिर्फ 2 पॉइंट पे आती है कि हम अपना आंसर कैसे स्ट्रक्चर करें और हम अपना प्रेजेंटेशन कैसे सुधारें। तो ये हम देखेंगे आज के वीडियो में कि टॉपर्स की कॉपीज के टॉपर्स कैसी स्ट्रेटेजीज एम्प्लॉय करते हैं। फिर इन द ड्यूरिंग द डिस्कशन आई विल डिस्कस दैट what are the thumb rules which you can apply in each and every particular specific GS1, GS2 and GS4. Okay, and what happens is if you can improve, even if you can if you can fetch even 0.5 marks extra in each of the question. So what happens is there are 80 questions in GS total. So in 80 question, if you can get even if 30 question you improve your presentation and structuring, you will get 20 or 25 marks extra. Now, aspirants, 25 marks is the difference between your selection or non-selection, or the difference between an IAS and IPS. So I believe that you have to see from the toppers that how they can improve your presentation and structuring of the answer. Okay, so let's begin. तो फर्स्ट कॉपी हम डिस्कस करेंगे इशिता किशोर मैम की, जिन्होंने यूपीएससी 2022 में टॉप किया है। तो ये GS1 की कॉपी है। तो GS1 में ऑब्वियसली क्या जो मैप्स होते हैं और जो डायग्राम्स होते हैं उनका जो यूज होता है वो इफेक्टिव हो सकता है, क्योंकि इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस मूवमेंट, जियोग्राफी, एनवायरमेंटल चेंज, ये बहुत सारी जो चीजें हैं जो ओवरलैप करती है GS1 to 3 में, इनके क्वेश्चंस इफेक्टिवली ज्यादा GS1 में होते हैं। बट एट द सेम टाइम जब हम इशिता किशोर मैम की जब कॉपी देखेंगे तो उसमें हम ये देखेंगे कि उन्होंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ डायग्राम्स पे फोकस नहीं किया। इनके जो हर एक जो आर्ग्यूमेंट है, आर्ग्यूमेंट के साथ सब्सटेंशिएशन होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी होता है। आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक पॉइंट लिख के नहीं छोड़ सकते। आप जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 है, जो कि है कि डू यू एग्री विद द व्यू दैट द गांधीयन पॉलिटिक्स वाज इन सेंस अ कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ तिलक्स पॉलिटिक्स। So here first you have to understand the relevance. The relevance of the question is trying to ask you that how the Gandhian politics was different from the Tilak's politics. Okay, so here first and foremost in this question, see the structuring of the answer. So this part is called intro. Now here the body starts. This part is body. And in the later part of the question, you will see the conclusion. Okay, so this is the standard answer. How this is standard that the ma'am have followed the introduction, body and conclusion, the IBC method, which has been discussed in many coaching institutes. But you need to see that how you have to apply that the introduction should be short and the crisp. Similarly, we will later come to the conclusion. The introduction is very crisp that Indian freedom struggle saw the different approaches from various leaders with the common agenda of Swaraj. Okay. Now, what ma'am has done is they have divided the body into two parts. The first part is the Gandhian politics as a continuation of Tilak, and second part is Gandhian politics as a stark differences from the Tilak. So you see that they have divided the body of the question in two parts. So covering the two dimension of the argument that the Gandhian politics was a continuation of Tilak's politics. So now after starting, first and foremost thing is to give heading or to give heading to each of the part of the body. So here the heading is given. Here see that Gandhian politics is a continuation of Tilak. Now you see that subpoints. In each and every subpoint, you will see that they have underlined the main argument. So here the main argument is accepting religion, Swaraj, inclusion of masses, and uh, reflecting continuation. Now, after each argument, you see that substantiation is also there. So this part is very important. Most of the time, even when I am evaluating the answer of various aspirants, what they do is they just present the argument and do not substantiate their argument. So substantiation of argument is very much necessary as much as the argument in itself. So here, the accepting religion again they have substantiated the argument. Here again, the inclusion of masses. Here also they have substantiated that Tilak had started Home Rule League and Gandhi started mass struggle. Then in the Home Rule League, as we have seen that uh, there was inclusion of masses in the Home Rule League itself. So see, friends, here also in the second part of the question, also you see that there is argument and uh, there is substantiation. For example, cooperation with the Satnami regime is impossible, satanic regime is impossible, and Tilak was focused on Swaraj within the British Raj. So here also the argument is itself is in so complete that you don't need substantiation. That is also you have to see. And in the third argument, you see that reform in the Indian society and the Gandhiji has embraced the Gandhiji's embracing of the reform introduced by British and the Tilaks opposed to those reform. For example, you can also quote that Pandita Ramabai case, where Tilak has opposed the Age of Consent Act. Once again, in the concluding argument, you have to just close your answer very well. For example, see here that as towering leaders of the Indian freedom struggle, their contribution has been monumental in Swaraj for the masses and are relevant even for New India at the rate 75. So here what ma'am has done is that they have your contextualized the conclusion. So you see that it has a connect with present reality as well. So this is the thing that this type of conclusion you can also add into n number of question related to freedom struggle movement, so that you can connect the freedom struggle movement with the need of today's society. So that in a way will improve your presentation, and that will fetch you one extra mark that we are trying to hope. Now come to the part of more dynamic presentation. So here see the question number one. Here see that with example discuss how the cultural tradition from various region of India get reflected in regional music. So here the keyword is regional music. Now what here you see that presentation. Now good presentation is paramount to uh, impressing the examiners who is checking your copy. Now here, what ma'am has done is they have shown the regional music through a diagram. In North India, the Pahadi music; in the Central India, Hindustani music; in the Eastern India, the Shankar Devas Bhavna; in the no East, in the Western India, the Meera's Bhajan; and in South Carnatic music and tribal music as well. So you see the diagram is also there, but it has a proper labeling that which is the diagram for a regional music tradition. So this is the thing that you also have to look for, that you have to proper label your diagram in the answer. Now again following the same pattern, that there is a reflection of cultural tradition. the proper heading should be boxed and the subheading should be underlined, and each the argument should be substantiated with the examples. So that will be improving your that will be improving your marks, and that 1 marks that we are hoping for. Now we will see the GS2 topic. In the last discussion that we had at Sardar Patel Student Support Program, there was a demand from the student that how would we improve our presentation in GS2. So they students can also see that this copy is going to be really helpful. For example, in GS2, in polity specific question or government specific questions, the scope for diagrams is very less. But at the same time, you can innovate your presentation skills. So that will be helpful in you will able to cover more dimension in the given space. At the same time, you will save space so that your time management will become better, and your presentation skill will get you some extra marks. Here in this question, you will see that do you agree with the view that the time has come to revisit the seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution? Here also, the ma'am has followed the extended introduction body conclusion. But in the seventh schedule 3.1, so what they have done is they have created this list, and they have substantiated each list with points. So what they will do is they will give the idea to the examiner that the student has a fair understanding, has an in-depth knowledge of the topic that has been asked in the question, and that will be really helpful to you. Here also, each of the heading is boxed, and each of the subheading is underlined. And see the space between the words. This is the correct way. Sometimes the gap between the words becomes so large that it become very open to the examiner that the student doesn't want to write too much words in the question. So that way, it gives a negative impression on the examiner that they have just managed to fill the space. But here you will see that the space and the size of the words is such a proportion that it is balancing each and everything. Now here also, in the way forward, you see that they have improved their presentation. Now if you will write the same argument in a paragraph manner, you will see that it will cover more space and you have to write more. But if you improve your presentation like this, what happens is you can cover more points in a little space, and you have to write even less, and it gives impression, and it is very easy to read for the examiner and will give you some extra marks. And for specifically for the GS2, we have to see that each and every session, each and every question has to be ended in a way forward. For example, any problem that the question is asking, especially in GS2, for example, they can ask about the governor's role, they can ask about duty versus right, they can ask about uniform civil code, this type of question which are currently in the news. So for each and every such topics, you have to prepare way forward, because you cannot only discuss problem in the question and leave it at that only. So what happens is if you present a as a solution oriented or problem solving oriented kind of mindset. So that is also appreciated really in the UPSC civil services exam. So first and foremost thing is to improve your presentation, and the second is for GS2 specifically to always end your answer in a way forward for problem related issues. For example, if we talk about the judicial activism, or if we talk about the judicial pendency, or if we talk about basic structure, the problems with basic structure. So you cannot always end your answer in such a way that you are only discussing only the problems. Okay. So giving a way forward is paramount in a GS2. And here also you can improve your presentation by making such a flow chart. So in GS1, the thumb rule is to make maps. In GS2, the thumb rule is make flow charts. So that will also will ease your mind's burden on what to do to improve your presentation.